So how's everyone during this cold winter? I might as well just shuffle these normal instead of thinking a big to-do out of it. Everybody's thinking about sex. So all anybody does is think about sex, and there's competition and fantasy everywhere. Sex and fantasy. So I was going to do this for Aquarius. I feel like it could be a pretty big fantasy, and that it could be pretty, pretty bad. Something has to be learned from this for some reason. There's secrets. A lot going on here. Aquarius, you're thinking about, there's an issue with a partner here. What crosses you? Money, opportunity, brand new start. You wanna make a brand new start? You feel like your opportunities, don't, oh God, I can kind of relate to this. You feel like a relationship is blocking your opportunities. Wow, I totally relate to that. Totally. I mean, I can relate to that totally. I mean, people we are around will determine how successful we are. So the more successful the people are who we hang out around, the better, more successful we will be, right? But there's this area, this challenge of this is just a downright feeling like you have to one up somebody, or you have to defend yourself over something that's not a big deal. Like there could be trouble here where there doesn't need to be any trouble. Like it's really saying to stand back and stand down, or you're going to end up out here, or this person, and this is just not a pretty scene. But this is a challenge, so you might already be going through this, and I'm saying just back off and just forget these details for right now. Let me finish the reading here. You got creativity, a lot of it. And then in your subconscious, you're all worried about the details or something, or worried about this is deep down in what's bothering you most about this. It's the little things, and you need to get shit organized myself. There's this card. This card is scary, but yet it's saying also that you have the wherewithal to do what you need to do. You have everything you need. We all do. We all have everything we need to get to what we're going. Like to manifest everything we want. So this could all be pushed aside. This defensiveness, this having, details, or making a problem when there doesn't need to be one. It's like, just don't even say anything. But then there gets to be a point where you feel like you can't even talk to somebody. So this is also an issue like that, I feel, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't a pretty big deal. That's awful. That's probably why this is there. So this needs to go here at your life and get to the details and be more realistic about what it is you want. Because he's like going to control everything. So this is, okay, now I get it. Okay, so this is also a challenge. Control. And you know what? All you can do is control you and what you're doing and how you're thinking. So be positive. Think positive. Be you know, loving self, you know, positive things like, you know, like Louise Hay would say, I love myself, and, you know, I love you. And she'd talk in the mirror. You know, she got that book about mirror work. I just found it today, and I know I need to do it still. I need to work on that. So that's really the thing we have to do. We have to keep working on ourselves, be creative, work with what we got, because we can't change everything all at once. We have to work with what we got and do the best we can with what we have to work with, because, yeah. And that's what this is showing. That's the time to do that, to use our heart, our love, our wisdom, our, you know, this is the earth energy of Capricorn, the new Saturn energy that the Capricorn is taking over and helping us to get to the details and get shit cleaned up that needs to get cleaned up, and be more positive and creative with ourselves, and be more forgiving with ourselves and others. So these are supposed to be the advice cards. So it's saying Ace of Cups. Shoot. She loves me. She could, you know, take a finger off, but she loves me, so she's not gonna. So this is saying that you feel stuck, and that's the energy here, and it's saying, I don't know what the fuck it's saying exactly right now, because this is sort of the energy that I feel like I'm stuck. You know, like, what the fuck am I doing here? What, you know, and then you have to realize, remember who you are, think back, reminisce who you are, don't give up your heart and who you are individually. And I feel like this has just got to be dealt with somehow. This is a defensive thing. It's an illusion more, I think, than the Eight is of Swords, and but yet, with all emotions it matches this. It's all overflowed. There's a lot of going on here. It's pretty deep, and there's a lot of emotional things. So that's why it's so hard to take the blinder off, to put the swords down. There's also things that are private when it comes to love, and they well should be. And you have to really self-love. You have to turn this love and look at the moon. You know, get out in nature. Remember, do things that you like to do. Have fun. Do something with children. Help your child within. Keep your love. This right here is a love. It's love, and you know, it's God. It's the hand of God. It's intuition. It's a lot of things. It could be just about anything, but it's a lot of emotional fulfillment. Yet this is like stopping it, because there's this there's so much damage from all this emotion. So we have to say, okay, well, we see the damage. Let's just put these swords down and deal with that. Take the blindfold off, look at the damage, assess it, say, okay, yeah, we've done that, but let's let it go. Let's turn our back on this. We don't have to keep being damaged. We know who we are, and there is the hand of God. There is abundance here on this earth for us. We don't have to suffer and be stuck. There's all kinds of things we can do, and this is we can have. You know, and right here it's saying that we have all this stuff in mind without harm to anyone. You know, And especially ourselves, because that's what this is. It's more harmful to ourselves than anybody else. It's kind of self-defeating, if anything. This kind of makes me sad because it's about balance too. And I realize if you're in a situation where you feel stuck, you got to balance. You can't, you got to stay. It's almost like walking on an edge. You're on edge all the time. It's really hard to relax, so you have to really try to relax. Relax, let these swords down. Let the blindfold down so you can see what you're doing, so you can look at this. It's really important. So the Knight of Swords upside down. So there's energy here that's caused this, that's really been quite harmful, and obviously you've been through some pretty harsh things that has caused this. It clarified. I want to clarify, so I'm using these cards to clarify again. It just feels like a Budinsky, somebody just screwed with the works, come in, screwed with the works, and found a reason to have opposition and try to fight with control over something. Could be an ex, could be you're still with this person. So, okay, so there's three and a Fool. So the Fool is all actually not really being ready to settle down, but it's wanting to fool around. But it's kind of foolish because you got to think about everyone in the situation, and it's three parties. You don't want to hurt anybody. Everybody needs to know the truth when stuff like this is going on, because really if people knew the truth, then you wouldn't be doing this, you'd be divorced or something, you know? I think everybody would be a lot more happier if they just were honest, and but then again, everybody is fighting for control, you know? That's kind of ridiculous. Oops, so I turned it upside down, so the Page of Cups upside down, so there's an offer of love here that's not been accepted, do you feel, or something like that. Boy, that's awful. I wouldn't say that's true. I would not say that at all, because these are the advice cards. This is saying to hold on to this energy. I'm pretty sure, though, that this all involves the same, just a heartbreak, heartache, emotionally burned. You feel emotionally burned, and it's just immaturity that's causing this, because this was upside down, and I just feel like it was immature, kind of foolish stuff. So be careful what you're doing here, because this kind of stuff could, it's bad. 2 5s. And that 9 being defensive, nothing can survive being picked apart. Nothing. No one, nothing can. So, don't. Oh, brother. Chariot, this is achievement. There's achievement here. There's a real possibility of something really big, really good. So just be positive. This looks very, very daunting, but it's really not. The less we think about it, the more we focus on the Chariot and moving on down the road and getting things done, achievement, getting done what we need to do. Use the energy of these 2 cards. And the grandfathered energy, the dream that we have. Look at that. We can achieve all these things. We just have to really be positive. I really believe that. So I don't know how long this is, but this was for Aquarius, and I hope you have a happy new year. Thanks for listening. I wish you well. And wish yourself well. Be positive, okay? Seriously, you've got it going. Just be positive and keep going. Don't give up. Just dust yourself off, try again. Just be positive, though, and no harm, no harm. Be good. Take care. Bye.